All right, camp wrapping up, Coach. Overall, how you feeling about your side of the ball over there?
It's been a good camp, hard camp. We went after it. We just were calculating how many 11-on-11 snaps we had, over 700 snaps of 11-on-11, and most of those are full pads or at least shells, so it's all full pads for us. So it's been a lot of good work. I think right now we're starting to form some chemistry between the new receivers and the quarterbacks, and that's been a big concern coming in. We lost a lot of production at the wide receiver last year. We got some really talented guys came in, but most of them weren't there for spring practice. Jalen Johnson was, but he practiced about 3 practices, pulled a hamstring, and then was out. So, early in the camp, it was there, but just a little off, starting to come together. I think today, offensively, we came out very, very well. And then the other concern I've had is that the Holt Nailers are doing pretty good, and some of the starters are doing really good. Our 2s and 3s weren't doing very well. It's tough going against our defense because they're so multiple, so complex that sometimes the young guys struggle for a while. They had by far their best day today, so I'm in a pretty good mood.
How about that third running back spot? I know it's something you were asked about a lot. Earlier this week you said Marlon Gillen had the upper hand at practice that particular day. Is that like a day-to-day thing almost?
I think it's been kind of just a gradual thing. Marlon has continued to impress us just with his ability, his maturity. I don't think the game's too fast for him right now. A lot of times for freshmen, he's just not ready. That adjustment from high school football to college football, just like I'm sure to the next level, then they have to adjust. He doesn't seem like that's bothering him. I think he's probably solidified that after today's scrimmage, though I will say Camaro Edmonds has definitely shown that he has the ability. He's got a hold on the ball, had 1 fumble today, but that's about the only negative about him. He'd gotten sick when we had that little stomach virus or whatever went around. He missed literally like 4 days. That put him a little bit behind. Pop, McKay is still in there. We've still given him a lot of opportunities. We're going to need them all. You know what I'm saying? I know it always seems like, you got too many, because you got Rajay, you got Keaton, but Keaton's been out for a couple of days. And so all of a sudden you're like, well, where is that next guy, And right now that room, I think Chris Foster's pretty excited about him.
Coach, there's been a lot of praise about the offensive line. What is specifically setting them apart this year from years past?
I just think we're more physical. I'm saying we, for the first time since I've gotten back, we look like a Division I Atlantic, or a American Conference type team, or like those other leagues because we're big, we're physical. I think it's a group that likes football. And you know what, really, you kind of travel on the morale of your offensive line, because if the offensive line has got juice and they're energized and they're really like to play physical, you're going to have that kind of offense. And right now, they're playing physical and they're acting like they like being there.
Coach, all your days.
Was this like old timers day or something?
All your days. Watch that. All your days at East Carolina. Take us back to some of your memories against North Carolina State.
Well, my first thoughts of State go back to when we were in Carter Finley up there. And Justin Hardy and the boys put it on them pretty good up there. I guess my fondest part of the game was at the end when the purple gold chant was pretty much dominating the scene right there. That was a pretty awesome day right there. Another great memory, obviously, when Damian Magazoo, who I had the pleasure to recruit, picked off Russell Wilson down here in the end zone. And that's a game we should have blown them out. We actually turned it over and let them back in the game, but what a great finish to that game right there. So those are 2 great memories I've got of the Wolfpack.
One more thought about the offense, but when you look at everything that's going on, have the wide receivers come on? Are they going to be good?
They got to be good. We're not giving them any other option, and we have a lot of talent there. We're still dropping too many balls, like I say. Some of the timing's still off, but I really think Colton and Mason and the guys are starting to understand and get that chemistry. But it's just taking some time, like I say, because the guys that are going to play, Isaiah, Jalen Johnson, CJ wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? If you'd asked me a couple of months ago what kind of year CJ going to have, I'd have said, is he going to have a year? You know what I'm saying? I don't know, but he's had a great camp, and they all have. We're not there. I'm glad we got 2 more weeks. I'm glad we all had a really good feeling, I think, when we came off the field today because I think we've achieved a lot, but we're not ready to play.
Coach,
Thank
what
you.
kind of mentality do you guys have to have, knowing that it's going to be an offensive shootout probably between two good quarterbacks on the field against NC State?
Well, I don't know that we ever think of it in those categories because I think our defense would take offense to that if I said that. I think we're always going into the game thinking we've got to move the ball, we've got to score points. We have great respect for them. Coach Doran and his staff have done a tremendous job, especially recruiting and the talent they've got. We know they're good. We know they're good on defense. So, we just kind of stay in our own world and just try to say we got to do what we got to do offensively. Be prepared to score a lot of points. Hope we don't have to, but be prepared to do that.
Knowing that they do have a great defense over at NC State, how have you been preparing your offense going through camp, knowing that they're going to have a tough task, probably one of the toughest of the year?
Well, they are, and they're definitely a top whatever type team out there. The defense has got a lot of talent. We're getting prepared by going against our defense, which we think is pretty darn good. So we haven't really started to game plan for them. That will start tomorrow. We'll kick in. We'll have a 2-week preparation for them. Normally you only have 1 week. But for now, we've just been going against our defense, and I can't imagine anything could have gotten us harder or stronger or more competitive than going against our defense.
How much does it help to have his speed out of the backfield, knowing what you guys want to do with your run game?
It's tremendous ability that he has to shorten the field and go score from long distance. And, the big play is probably the number one thing right now offensively everybody's trying to do because that's how you score. It's hard to grind it out and have long drives because you mess it up. Defense eventually finds the right solution. They get you and they stop you. So he gave us a lot of long runs last year. We're sure hoping he can do that again. Based on camp, he's going to do that again because he sure has done it throughout the practices.
One night copy that. Everybody in the stands go bananas, scream loud, but they don't hold back. Every foot, every yard, every first down, every touchdown with the cannons blast. Get it on, get it all, get the wave going.